This is rules reading from Unraveled Game Thoughts. My name is Wade. Today I'm reading Travel Guide to Japan for the game Let's Go to Japan. Components: 160 activity cards, 24 favorable condition tokens, 20 experience tokens, 4 stress tokens, 4 happiness tokens, 4 starting train tokens, 21 train tokens, 20 wild tokens, 24 research tokens, 16 walk tokens, 4 plus 12 tokens, 4 mood tokens, 4 player boards, 1 round tracker token, 1 round tracker board, 1 rulebook, 1 score pad. Overview. In Let's Go to Japan, players are travelers competing to plan and experience the most personally fulfilling dream vacation in Tokyo and Kyoto. The game consists of 13 rounds in which players draw activity cards and strategically place them in different days in their week-long itinerary, followed by a final round in which they ultimately go on their planned trip, activating each of their cards in order along the way. The player who collects the most points by the end of their trip, the winner. Setup. Step 1. Each player takes a player board, a set of 6 different favorable token conditions in their player color, a set of 5 different experience tokens, a mood tracker token matching their player board color, a stress token, and a happiness token. Each player places their mood tracker token on the hexagonal center space of the mood track at the top of their player board. Each player places their red stress marker token on the leftmost space of the stress track, just below the mood track, and does the same with the green happiness tracker token on the leftmost space of the happiness track. Step 3. Each player places their 5 experience tokens on the leftmost 0 space on the experience track on their player board. Step 4. One player randomly places each of their 6 favorable condition tokens in the circular spot corresponding to one of the 6 days, Monday to Saturday, at the bottom of their player board. All other players place their own favorable condition tokens on their player boards, matching the exact order of that player's tokens. Step 5. Shuffle the 80 activity cards marked Tokyo on the back and place them face down in a Tokyo deck in the central play area, within reach of all players. Do the same with the 80 activity cards marked Kyoto on the back and place the Kyoto deck face down near the Tokyo deck. Leave space for a face-up discard pile. Step 6. Place the round tracker board in the central play area. Place the round tracker token on the first leftmost circular space so as not to cover the icon. Step 7. Each player takes a starting train token. Step 8. Place the train, wild research, walk, and plus 12 tokens in separate piles within reach of all players to form the supply. Note: during the game, the supply of these tokens is considered unlimited, so if they ever run out, use a temporary marker as needed. Card anatomy. At the top of the card are the experience and mood track icons. These indicate which experience and mood track tokens will be moved on a player's board when the card is activated at the end of the game. On the upper right-hand side of the card are the card points, the number of points the card is worth at the end of the game. In the middle of the card is the activity name and a brief description. In the middle bottom right side is the name of the city. This indicates whether this activity takes place in Tokyo or Kyoto. This also is indicated by the color of the card's background, blue for Tokyo, pink for Kyoto. If the card has a yellow background and no city is listed, it can be counted as either Tokyo or Kyoto. Toward the bottom left side of the card are the highlight of the day requirements. These indicate what is needed to earn the card's bonus points. These only apply if the card is showing its full face at the bottom of a given day. To the right of the requirements are the highlight of the day bonus points, the number of bonus points the card can earn if the requirements are met. Icons on the card may indicate the following. Red icons are temples or shrines. There are approximately 100,000 Shinto shrines and 80,000 Buddhist temples scattered throughout Japan. Many of them have become popular sightseeing spots for tourists as the historic cultural center of Japan. Kyoto is home to many of the most famous ones. The green icons represent food and drink. Japan has many famous dishes and different types of dining experiences, from elegant kaiseki meals to inexpensive ramen houses. Tokyo has more Michelin-starred restaurants than any other city in the world. The pink icon represents nature and gardens. Japan offers many opportunities to appreciate nature in all forms. Cherry blossom viewing, called ohanami, is a large draw for visitors. Kyoto, sitting among the mountains, is particularly known for its fall foliage and beautiful temple gardens. The yellow icons represent shopping or goods. From traditional handmade crafts to modern goods like manga and anime collectibles, Japan has something for every shopper. There are district neighborhoods in Tokyo that specialize in luxury goods, street fashion, cookware, and electronics. The teal icons represent unique experiences. This symbol represents unique one-of-a-kind experiences such as performances, meals, and unexpected encounters. These are the memorable events that visitors will excitedly recount to their family and friends back home. There are also wild icons, point icons that look like cats, stress icons, which are red and generally point to the left, and green icons, which represent happiness and generally point to the right. The cat point icons are representative as originating in Japan during the Edo period and prevalent throughout the country. The Maneki Nikko is a cat figurine that is believed to bring good luck or fortune to its owner. The round order goes as follows. Step 1, draw cards. Step 2, play cards. Step 2A, receive day bonuses if appropriate. Step 3, end of round. Step 1, draw cards. At the beginning of each round, players will draw activity cards simultaneously to their hand as indicated by where the round tracker token is on the round tracker board. The squares, blue square with a T, overlaid with a red rectangle with a K, the icon means that players should draw one card from the Tokyo deck and one card from the Kyoto deck. If there are two rectangle T's and two rectangle K's, this icon would imply that players should draw two cards from the Tokyo deck and two cards from the Kyoto deck. The text below the icons on the round tracker board indicates how many cards, either one or two, players will play and pass that round. When a player passes a card, they should place it face down on the indicated square in the upper right corner of the player board of the player on their left for rounds 1 to 7. Note, the player receiving the card may not look at the card and does not have access to it that round. Beginning in round 8, as indicated by the circular arrow icon on the round tracker board, players will instead pass cards to the player on the right. The icon showing an arrow pointing up over a deck with a number means that players should draw their entire stack of cards from the upper right corner of their own player board. The number of cards in the stack should match exactly the number indicated on the icon. At the beginning of round 13, players should draw their choice of one card from either the Tokyo or Kyoto deck, as indicated by the rectangle with a blue and red coloring on it, and then draw the one card remaining on their player board. Players are not allowed to look at that card before deciding which deck to draw from. At the end of every round, after both playing and passing cards, players should have no cards left in their hand. Research tokens. During the game, players may earn research tokens, which may be used to draw additional cards. At any time after drawing the regular cards for the round, but before passing cards at the end of the round, a player may discard a research token to the supply to draw 3 cards in any combination from the Tokyo and Kyoto decks to their hand. The player must then immediately discard any 3 cards to the face-up discard pile in the center play area. A player may use more than one research token as long as they complete the draw and discard actions for each token separately. A player may use a research token earned on that turn as long as they complete the draw and discard actions before passing cards. Research tokens not used by the end of the game are worth 1 point each, as indicated on the other side of the token. Step 2. Play cards. Each round, players will play either 1 or 2 activity cards simultaneously to their itinerary as indicated by the text on the round tracker board. The upper section of each card shows which of the player's 5 experience tokens will move forward on the experience track on their player board, and or which way the mood tracker token will move on the mood track. The tokens do not move until the player goes on their trip in the final round. The bottom section of each card shows the potential bonus points that might be earned in the final round if this card occupies the highlight of the day position at the bottom of a column and the requirements are met. Card placement. Throughout the game, players will add activity cards to their itinerary by placing them in a column below one of the days, Monday through Saturday, on their player board. Each day can have a maximum of 3 cards in its column. Extra walk cards, which are explained on page 8, are the exception. The cards in each column should overlap one another so that the upper section of each card is visible, and the card at the bottom of the column is the only one that is fully visible. This card is the player's current highlight of the day for that day, and if it remains so in the final round, the bonus points at the bottom of the card may be earned. Whenever a card is added to a day that already has one card in that column, the player decides whether the card is tucked underneath the other card and thus at the top of the column, or placed at the bottom of the column overlapping the other card and replacing it as the highlight of the day. Whenever a card is added to a day that already has 2 cards in that column, the player has the additional choice to place the card in between the 2 cards, making sure the upper section of each card is visible. Note that once a card is placed, it may not be discarded, moved to a different day, or swapped with the position of another card in the same day. Step 2. Continued. When playing cards, players should consider maximizing points by placing cards in the day in which the favorable condition token on their player board matches the most icons in the upper section of the card, since that will earn them bonuses. Placing Tokyo cards adjacent to other Tokyo cards and Kyoto cards adjacent to other Kyoto cards, so that the fewer train tokens, worth -2 points each, will be used to travel between Tokyo and Kyoto. Placing cards so that the requirements for the bonus points on the card in the highlight of the day position for each day are met by that point in their trip. Going for a walk. If a player does not like the card options in their hand, they can decide to leave part of their schedule to chance by going for a walk and exploring Japan. A player does this by discarding 1 card from their hand to the face-up discard pile, taking the top face-down card without looking at it from either the Tokyo or Kyoto deck and placing it face down in their itinerary as they would any other activity card. The player also takes 1 research token from the supply as indicated by the icon on the card. When the player goes on their trip in the final round and arrives at this card, they will reveal it and decide whether to play and activate the card face up in its current position or leave it face down, in which case it does not activate but is worth 1 happiness on the mood tracker, 1 point, and a walk icon, as indicated on the upper section of the card. Step 2A, Day Bonuses. Whenever a player places a third activity card in the column for a single day, they have finished planning that day and should check for bonuses by counting the total number of icons in the upper section of the 3 cards for that day that match the favorable condition token that was placed for that day during game setup. These matches mean that a player has scheduled activities on a day when the conditions are particularly favorable, such as nature activities when the weather is nice, or shopping activities when there are big sales going on. Based on the number of matching icons, the player chooses one of the available bonuses, as indicated in the upper left of the player board. Bonus 1 is to move the mood tracker 1 token space to the right. Number 2 is to take 2 research tokens from the supply, or take 1 wild token from the supply. Number 3 is to take 1 luxury train token, which offers points and an increase in happiness on the mood tracker from the supply, or go on an extra walk, in which the player will add a face-down card to that day, but they do not get a research token for doing this. Day 2A, Day Bonuses continued. A player who has matched 2 icons can choose to take the lesser bonus for matching only 1 icon. A player who has matched 3 icons can choose to take any one of the lesser bonuses instead. No additional bonuses are earned for matching 4 or more icons to the favorable condition token for a single day. Wild tokens. When a player goes on their trip in the final round, they can discard a wild token at any time to move an experience token of their choice 1 space forward on the experience track. Wild tokens may not be used to move the mood tracker token or count as a research, train, or walk token. Extra walk. When taking this bonus, the player simply takes a face-down card without looking at it from either the Tokyo or Kyoto deck and places it face down in their itinerary in the day for which they earn the bonus, so that there are 4 cards in this column, otherwise respecting placement rules. When the player goes on their trip in the final round and arrives at this card, they will reveal it and decide, as they would with other walk cards, whether to play and activate the card face up in its current position or leave it face down. See page 10. However, unlike with regular walk cards, players do not earn a research token for going on an extra walk in their itinerary. Step 3, End of round. Once players have finished playing their cards and taking their day bonuses, they should pass the remaining cards according to the round tracker board and have no cards left in their hand. The round has now ended, and the round tracker token should be moved 1 space to the right. At the end of the 13th round, when the round tracker token would move past the end of the board, planning is finally complete and players are ready to go on their trip. How exciting! At this point, players should place all necessary train tokens for traveling between Tokyo and Kyoto. See page 13 for full explanation. Final round, going on a trip. At this point, players activate the cards in their itinerary in the order from Monday to Saturday, starting with the card at the top of the column for Monday and going downward in that column so that the upper section of each card is activated. This is followed by the activation of the visible highlight of the day bonus on the final card at the bottom of Monday's column. The total number of points a player scores for Monday should be recorded in the corresponding row on the score pad. Players repeat this process in their itinerary for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in that order. It is strongly recommended for your first game and all your games to have players take turns narrating and enriching activities they did for each day. It is more fun that way. Alternatively, experienced players can activate and score their cards simultaneously. Highlight of the day bonuses. The highlight of the day bonus Bonuses reward players for having done complementary activities up to that point in the trip. In addition to points, some Highlight of the Day bonuses grant additional movement of a player's experience, track, and mood track tokens as indicated by the icons pictured in the example. Also, some Highlight of the Day bonuses score points based on the number of specific icons a player has already activated in their itinerary up to the point the Highlight of the Day bonus is scored. These are calculated at the time the Highlight of the Day card is scored, so any matching icons on future days do not score additional points related to that bonus. See Highlight of the Day examples on page 15. Walks. As the trip is being scored, when a player comes upon a face-down walk or extra walk card they placed in their itinerary, they reveal it and decide whether to play and activate the card face up in its current position or leave it face down, in which case the icons on the upper section of the card activate on the mood tracker, 1 point, and a walk icon, which counts towards future Highlight of the Day bonus requirements. If a player chooses to activate the card face up, they should take 1 walk token from the supply and place it in the upper section of the card as a reminder that card was played as a walk or extra walk. This token counts as a walk icon for future Highlight of the Day bonus requirements. If a walk or extra walk was placed on the bottom of a column in the Highlight of the Day position, and the player chooses to leave it face down, then that card scores an additional 2 points, as indicated at the bottom of the card with no requirements that need to be filled. Mood Tracker. Traveling can be an immensely rewarding experience, but it can also come with frustrations, as represented on a player's mood tracker. There are 4 types of arrow icons that move a player's mood tracker token. 2 icons are red, and 2 icons are green. One of the red icons shows a Japanese symbol, meaning stress from doing an expensive activity. The other red icon shows a lightning bolt, indicating stress from doing a strenuous, crowded, or otherwise challenging activity. The green Japanese symbol represents happiness from doing an inexpensive or discounted activity. The green lightning bolt represents happiness from doing a peaceful or relaxing activity. Either red arrow moves a player's mood tracker 1 space to the left, while either green arrow moves a player's mood tracker 1 space to the right. These movements occur as normal when going on a trip in the final round, not when the card is initially placed. The exception is when a player chooses to take the day bonus, and in that case, the mood tracker token should be moved immediately. Whenever the mood tracker token reaches the rightmost space on the mood tracker, move the happiness tracker token 1 space to the right and reset the mood tracker token to the center space. Players will earn points at the end of their trip corresponding to where their happiness tracker token is. Similarly, whenever the mood tracker token reaches the leftmost space on the mood tracker, move the stress tracker token 1 space to the right and reset the mood tracker token to the center space. Players will lose points at the end of their trip corresponding to where their stress tracker token is. If either the happiness or stress tracker token should be moved when it is already in the rightmost space, then it does not move and it stays where it is, but the mood tracker token resets to the center as normal. Trains. The end of the 13th round, but before the final round in which players begin activating the cards in their itinerary, players must place all necessary train tokens. Each time a player will be traveling from Tokyo to Kyoto or vice versa, they must place one of the following train tokens between the activity cards in their itinerary. Starting train, no benefit or penalty. This does not need to be the first train token placed. A luxury train, this token gives the benefit of 2 points and 1 moves the move tracker 1 space to the right. This occurs in between the activation of the 2 cards in different cities. And a regular train token taken directly from the supply, which is a penalty of 2 points. Players must take as many regular train tokens from the supply as needed to complete their itinerary. If a player ends a day in Tokyo and begins the next day in Kyoto or vice versa, they still must take the train token and place it above the cards in the column for the second day. Some cards have a yellow background and do not list a city. These are generic activities, and a player chooses separately for each of these cards whether to count it as Tokyo or Kyoto. Face-down walk and extra walk cards are counted as being in the same city indicated on the back of the card. If a face-down walk or extra walk card is later revealed to have a yellow background and the player chooses to keep it face up, the card still counts as being in the same city indicated on the back of the card. Any type of train token placed in a player's itinerary counts toward future highlight of the day bonus requirements showing a train icon. Unused luxury train tokens at the end of a player's trip are worth 0 points. The total number of positive and negative points from the train tokens should be recorded on the score pad in the corresponding row. Experience track. At the end of their trip, after they finish scoring Saturday, players earn points for where each of their 5 experience tokens is on their experience track. Final score. Using the score pad, players add up the points for their individual itinerary days, stress tracker, happiness tracker, experience tracker, trains, and leftover research tokens, which should be flipped to the side showing 1 point. The player who has the most points has fulfilled their individual goals for their trip the best and is the winner. If players are tied, they have had equally remarkable trips and share the victory. But if they insist, they can add up the number of spaces each of their 5 tokens has moved on the experience track and see who has the higher total. If still tied, they must agree that their trips were equally impressive. Thank you for listening to rules readings for Let's Go to Japan, brought to you by Unraveled Game Thoughts.